Now, why America? Excellent job opportunities because it's a very strong economy. It can absorb a lot of immigrants. Therefore, if you are in the technical field, majority of my students go in technical field, getting job is not really difficult. Liberal financial assistance in the form of campus jobs, teaching and research internship. See, American universities are charitable organizations. They are not profit-making organizations like what you have in India. And very important, excellent research facilities, up-to-date syllabi, keeping in with the latest technological advances. 68% of the Nobel laureates are from America, and all of them are university professors. In India, research institutes are different, NCL and Aadhaar and whatever. They don't teach. The people who teach, they don't do research. Very ironical. In America, that's not the case. The research and teaching go hand in hand. Anybody who does research is also a good teacher. I can cite an example. When I went to Stanford, because my house is very close to Stanford, I wanted to go to physics department. I went there, but it was closed. And so I saw one person, old man, with shorts. He said, "What do you want?" I said, "I just wanted to see the department, but I came late. So it's okay, I'll come tomorrow." He said, "Wait." He got a key from somebody. He opened the department. He showed me the department. And then we came out. And he closed. Then I asked that man who was holding that key, "So who is this gentleman?" He is a Nobel laureate. He is head of the Department of Physics in Stanford University. I was surprised. This is the audacity of those professors. Mala kai physics madla karta? I don't know anything. I just wanted to see that. But his Nobel laureate is showing me physics department on his own. So that is why America is progressing. There are very, very learned professors there. And in fact, there are 7 reasons why America is always liked by people. Number 1, excellent education facilities. Number 2, high standard of living. Even a middle class person can afford a very good car, very good electronic gaskets, very good house, which you cannot afford in India. If you buy a flat, you have to repay loan till you retire. So that's not the case in America. Third, very good work culture. 9 to 6 means 9 to 6. You don't work more after 6, and if you work beyond 6, they will compensate you. If you work on Saturday, Sunday, they will apologize 10 times that, "Sorry, we are disturbing your family life, but it is a very urgent work, please come." In India, by default, you have to work on holidays. By default, you have to work for 10 hours. So this is not the work culture. My daughter works in Facebook, so she comes on time. She goes home on time. So that's the thing. No discrimination, that I already explained. Law-abiding people and no corruption. This is the major attraction for Indians to stay in America. Law and order is excellent. There is very, very efficient policing system. If you press 911, within 3, 4, 5 minutes, police will come there. And he will take the action. And police is a very, very powerful man in America. He is allowed to shoot. So nobody can stop him. Even President of America cannot stop a policeman. Corruption is virtually zero. Go to any government organization, you will see smiling faces, which is very, very, very rare in India. Last, clean environment and no pollution. Beautiful roads, huge public parks in all the cities, big libraries, clean environment. You don't fall sick. When my students go to America, we hold pre-departure orientation here. I tell them to take insurance policy. But nobody from my class has fallen sick in America because they are so immune by staying in this country for 22 years that American bacteria cannot attack them. Because if they attack them, they know that they will die. So therefore I say it's a pollution-free country. So that is the reason why when the children go to America, they don't come back. But what are the negative points? Negative point major is social life. There is no social life in America. You live like a robo from Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday, your group comes together, you enjoy. And especially children, they are really bad because people go and play with their mates. But in America, it is very difficult. And number 2, there is no family support in case of emergency. If somebody falls sick in India, there are 10 family members who come together. In America, there is nobody. Even friends don't come because they can't take holidays. The holidays are limited. So you have to be on your own. So far as everything is going good, you don't feel like coming back to India. But if something goes wrong, if somebody falls sick, then you remember India and you call people from India to help you. All the parents, they always have maternity duty in America. And next and last, very expensive domestic help. Domestic servants are very easy to get in India, so you don't work, you are lazy. In America, no, it's getting a domestic servant is very expensive, so therefore you have to work. So 5 days, Monday to Friday, you have to work in the office. Saturday, you have to work in the home, and then Sunday you can enjoy. So this kind of life, anyway, but eventually you get used to that. So I'm not saying that America is a rosy picture all the time. There are some drawbacks also which you have to accept. These are the people whom you know: Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, Indra Nooyi, and Ajit Jain. You must not have heard his name. He's a director of Berkshire Hathaway. You must have heard Warren Buffett, the biggest investor in America. He is now a very old man, so he wants to hand over. So there are two contestants. One of them is Ajit Jain. It's a huge investment Warren Buffett is holding. Indian population migrated, especially after 1990. 70% Indians have a bachelor's degree or higher compared to 28% overall. Therefore, Indians are earning very good amount. They're the second richest community in America today, after Jewish community, because they are educated. And that is the reason why their salary is very high. If you go to California, you will find many Indians earning huge amount. And they use Tesla and Mercedes and BMW of the higher end. High salary for Indians, the average salary in California is 101,000 per annum as compared to the average per capita of 53,000. This is the GDP of the country. USA is 19.39 trillion. The next is China, Japan, of course we don't go to study there. Germany, 3.67 trillion, and then directly Canada down, 1.65. India is in between. India is about 2.59. So therefore these are the world GDPs in billions. Now America, if you see the GDP of individual state, the California alone has GDP equivalent to France. You know, that kind of power here. So American GDP is combined GDP of France, Italy, Germany, Brazil, UK, Mexico and Japan. You know, that is the power of that country. Some of the terms which I would like to explain: fall semester, that begins in August. Spring semester, that begins in January. Then STEM, S-T-E-M, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. These four fields, they get special treatment. I will explain you later. Majority or rather 100% of my students are in this category. Therefore, there is no market today for MBA or economics or humanities, languages. So there are nobody in my class because they don't get any preferential treatment. Getting H-1B is very difficult for those sectors. So majority people who go to America are from STEM sectors. CPT is a curriculum practical training that allows students to gain practical experience through internships and co-education. That means while studying, you are officially allowed to work for 364 days and earn money to pay for your education. So the CPT is very popular among students. We call it as commonly known as internships. OPT, optional practical training, that allows students to work without H-1B visa. So even if Trump scraps H-1B visa, don't worry. You can work in America up to 12 months, but you are from STEM category. So obviously you can work for 3 years, and within 3 years you can earn enough money to repay your loan. Even if you have to come back, you can come back loan debt-free with an American degree. Of course, H-1B won't be vanished. So therefore, OPT is a big advantage to students going to America, that you can work without work permit for 3 years after graduation. And what is work permit? H-1B visa, granted for 3 years and are extendable for 3 more years, 6 years. The annual quota is 85,000, out of which 20,000 is reserved for students from US universities, and that means all our master's degree holders, and general quota is 65,000. So getting job is not a problem if you have sound knowledge of the subject. Therefore, majority of my students, we tell them that they should take thesis option. That is, first 3 semesters they study coursework, and last semester they do research under professor. So that really helps them to they gain more knowledge of the subject, and that gives them job. Even though the cost is more on paper, in reality students get financial assistance from the university. I will discuss that later. And effectively cost can be between 25 to 30 lakhs. Students can recover the entire cost within 2 years after getting a job, because salary structure is so high that almost all my students could repay their loan within 2 years after getting job. And getting loan in India, education loan is very easy. In fact, Credila is sitting with lots of crores of rupees, so they want students. So if you apply to Credila, immediately you get, they send the person home and you get 35 lakhs very easily. So don't worry about money. I would like to play one video of one dean, Mr. Shaw Wallace from CSU.
With my colleagues here at Dilip Oaks Academy, and I'm going to address three areas. One is the opportunities after the Master's of Science degree in employment. The second is the dynamic of the H-1B immigration regulations, and the third is the Trump effect. Currently at our campus, the opportunities after Master's of Science degree are spectacular. And I don't think I'm puffing that or making any comments that aren't based in reality. Is the employment dynamic in information technologies in a wide variety of areas in Northern California is spectacular. Companies are hiring, and they're hiring aggressively, and they're hiring university graduates who have proven themselves using curriculum practical training and optional practical training. So the opportunities for students in the United States at the current time are very, very strong. Now, economies can weaken and economies can change, but in the coming year or two, I think you can project that the growth in this field will stay very, very positive. Two, changes in the H-1B regulations. We'll see in the next 6 months if there are major or significant changes of any kind in H-1B regulations. But keep in mind that the major focus and the major issue that the Trump administration has is not with university graduates from American universities. It's from the contracting companies and the consulting companies like Wipro and Tata Consulting, who are utilizing such a high percentage of the H visas. And my perception and the perception of many of my colleagues, having been in the field for many years and not being involved directly with politics but having observed politics, is that the changes that come will come very, very gradually. Regulatory changes are very, very slow in character, but they will most likely be very positive for American university graduates. That is, with more opportunities and higher salaries and less resistance in the immigration context. The Trump effect. You know, President Trump has made lots of wonderful statements about the nationalistic perspective that he has, and America first and American jobs only. But if you've seen him on television and you've seen the pictures of him recently, he looks pretty overburdened. He's gone from 70 to 80 in just in less than 100 days. And my perception is he's going to have a lot more on his plate than to continue to be nasty with regards to these kinds of issues. I don't think that will be a bone that he will chew on or take great delight in pursuing. Now, he may go to his supporters in these red states and say, well, you know, these bad people and they're foreigners and all this nonsense. He doesn't say that to the IT people. He doesn't say that to Bill Gates, and he doesn't say it to the people at Apple. He talks to them and they say, we need more flexibility. We need more opportunities to develop jobs. We need the ability to make more investments. And these young people that come from these Indian universities and other universities from around the world, they're the fuel for our growth and development. So I think you may see some, tumasha, oh, this is so bad. But in reality, I think that the changes that you see will be very, very positive for the higher education industry, and particularly for Indian students in the IT fields. I just wish in my heart that there was more students coming in non-IT fields. I see this overload of Indians in the IT field, and I understand the economic dynamics, and I see how that's important that you earn back your loan, that you pay that back quickly with an American salary. But thank you for your time, and I hope my comments have been of interest to you.
Now, another popular destination nowadays is Canada. Why Canada? Because they have opened their migration. There is something called express migration also now. Within 6 months you can get that. Getting job is little difficult compared to America, but getting green card or permanent citizen residency is very easy. So there are a lot of students from my academy nowadays, they are applying to Canada as well as America. But Canadian universities, they look for good academic record. And number two, it's a very cold country. 8 months in a year, you almost have ice or snow. So therefore, you should be prepared to accept that kind of life. Then Canada also is a better choice. Top quality education, excellent facilities, qualifying examination, admission process is same because US and Canada are sister countries. Easier to get work permit and permanent residence visas. That is the major attraction of getting, because in 5 years, you can become Canadian citizen, and then again you can, once you become Canadian citizen, you are allowed to go to America and work. So many students, they complete degree in America. From there they go to Canada, work for 4 years, become Canadian citizen and come back to America again, and because of their American degree they get job very easily. So this technique is being used by many Indian students studying in America now. One more destination is Germany. We have started 3 years back. It is picking up very fast because Germany, the population growth is negative. They need a lot of youngsters, especially in the technical field. Of course, as usual, Chinese are already flooded those universities, because in America also, when I went to America in 1989 and when I saw students in one university, many Chinese and less Indians. In fact, that inspired me to start this institution. Because when I asked them why not Indian, they said in India nobody knows that they can go to America and study with university funding. So therefore I discussed with my wife and we started collecting information, because there was no internet in those days. And 96 we started this. People laughed at me because nobody was going to America in those days. They said, what nonsense, how will students go there? How will they afford? But then I still promoted that. I took seminars, and within 4 or 5 years we became so popular that in Pune nowadays, going to America has become very easy. Everybody knows about America, but I had to put in a lot of efforts for 3 to 4 years for that. So similar efforts we are now putting in for Germany. The only catch is German language. You have to really study German language. That takes about 2 years. Therefore, we are taking courses for German language coaching also. I am sure that this is the right time for you to prepare and go to America and have a settled, nice life. Thank you very much.